There we go. Welcome to the City Show. Pat O'Melia here. You there? Back from hiatus, our first show. So I'm a little rusty on the open for that matter. But I did get the timer going. Usually I forget to press that. Remember, City Show Radio is here for you. We try to keep you up to date. We try to give you some local stuff. We give you the national stuff. You know, download the app. We're still moving on. Just download the app. Tell your friends, tell your mother's friends, tell your aunts, tell your buddies. Get on the internet, tell people. Download the Line 365 app. Then you can listen to GGR. We'll have a lot of other programming. We're nailing down some programming now. We got to finalize our medical show. I'm kicking around an idea of doing a Hudson County High School sports show. I'm kicking it right over to Mike over there. He'll be heading that up, where we report once a week at least. We get reporters from all the high schools, who some of these kids are covering these things, that they can call into the show and give the updates on the show, maybe some interviews with the ball players. But we're sorting this out. It was an idea I had before. We got to get the town halls going with the MUA and the city, and we got a bunch of other shows we're kicking around. But right now, what we need to do is, first off, for you to tell your friends to download the Live 365 app. We're going to break for commercial. When we come back, we'll break down what we're going to do on the show today. You be right back. I'll be right back.
Comprehensive healthcare is here, here, and here. RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its two newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights. Your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments. Carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants. All major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
We're back? Okay. We're breaking in the new engineer also. You're listening to the City Show. Pat O'Melia here on GGR. A little out of practice, but I've been doing the Seaside shows down in Seaside Heights on Fridays and Saturdays, a 2-hour show. But I'm trying to get the Seaside out of my head right now and get back into the City Show. Like I said, please tell your friends, download the app. Got any ideas on this high school sports show I'm thinking about doing on the radio? You can email me at jctalking2000@yahoo. That's jctalking2000@yahoo. You know, we also, put it this, we lost all the newspapers, so nobody's covering the high school sports anymore. So if we can step in with a radio show, maybe a call-in, why not? It's a good experience for all my high school kids. You know, we got a young guy here that's trying to learn radio to get into the radio business, and we have this equipment. We have the space. We have the technology. We can do this kind of stuff. Now, it's getting into election season right after Labor Day. The elections kick into gear here. And we got some big ones in Jersey City. Hoboken, of course, the state of New Jersey, with the governor's race and the assembly race. The things are truly heating up here in Jersey City. You got all the candidates are going back and forth at each other. O'Day is going after Solomon because Solomon's worried about talking about building birds safe so the birds don't fly into them. Okay, I think we should be concerned about birds, which is probably why we can't have any wind farms, because the birds fly into the wind farms. So if we can't build anti-bird buildings, we can't build any wind farms either. We got all the candidates. We're going to be doing some debates. Yeah, let me get the debates out here before I forget. On September the 30th of this month at 6:30 will be the first of 2 mayoral debates. I'm producing both. The Hudson Media Group. My high school kids will be involved in it. All the students that are involved in the studio will have a hand in it. The former mayor of Jersey City, Brett Schundler, will be moderating it. I don't know if Brett has ever moderated one. I know he's been into a few debates. I don't know if he's ever moderated one, but he's agreed to moderate. And he's setting up his own format on how he's going to handle the questions and all in the picking of the candidates and where they'll be at the podium, which is fine with me. Whatever makes the debate work smooth is fine. Then on the 22nd of October, we have John Hines. He'll be doing the Hudson Media, the annual Hudson Media Group debate. And we've been doing debates before Hudson Media, really, going back into, I guess, 2000 with Glenn. Yeah, 2001 we started on the radio with Glenn D. Cunningham. We had all the candidates. We had the big debate. And then it got down to DeGeese and Cunningham, Tom DeGeese and Glenn D. Cunningham. And many people think that was the greatest debate we've ever had in Hudson County and Jersey City. Those two guys went after each other pretty damn hard. And then we had the runoff debate, which it was kind of a foregone conclusion that Glenn D. Cunningham was going to win. And that was kind of very muted. But the first one with Glenn D. Cunningham and Tom DeGeese, that was one for the books. But we're going to have the 2 debates. But even though Brett's trying to make it as fair for everybody, got to pick names out of the hat and all. I would not do that. I would say you here, you there. That's how I've done it all these years. But we'll make Brett comfortable. We'll let him set up the format. I'm sure John Hines will use the same format we have used for years and years and years and years here. I'm also going to do the council debates, but we got 6 ward councils, so I'm not going to try to drag this out. What I'll do like 2 a day. We'll have one debate at 2 o'clock. Then we'll have another debate at 4 o'clock. They'll both go for an hour. Then the following day, we'll bring in another set of debaters. So we'll go from A through F. I know I'm going to do in the ward debates, I'll do my ward D and I'll do C. I think Dan Ugler, one of the reporters for Hudson County View, is going to do one of the debates. Hines might do a council debate. I'd like to see if I can get Fernando Uribe to do one, provided there isn't too much tension by having him do one. And maybe Steve Lennox would tapped into, or Al Sullivan would tapped into. I like to try to spread it around. But I traditionally have done the Ward D and Ward C, so I'll do those. For years and years, I used to do the mayoral debate, but now, I'm the older guy. I don't need all the FaceTime, so we'll let John Hines get the FaceTime on that, and Brett Schundler. I might squeeze in a Hoboken mayoral debate. We'll see. We'll let John moderate that. See if we can pull that off. Yeah, I like to try to get as much information out to the public so you can make an informed decision on election day. And there's these important elections coming up. Yeah, we want to make sure we have a good mayor. And I think we have all good candidates. There's a couple of fringe candidates that I don't know. The young lady who's a police officer running, I don't know her at all. There's another guy that moved to Jersey City from San Francisco last year. I know nada about him. But the rest of them, Masab Ali, of course, Joyce Waterman. I've known Joyce a good 10, 12 years now. Bill O'Day and I go back 30 years. Jim McGreevy and I go back probably just as long, 30 years. James Solomon, I suppose I go back with him about 8, 10 years. I remember the first debate in the studio that he was here when he won his first election. He was a candidate in our debates. I tried to get as much information out to the public. Try to do good production values. You have the podiums there. Not many people have as many podiums as I do. We actually have 7 here in the studio. I'm hoping I don't need to use all 7 of these podiums, but it really taxes the equipment and the manpower we have here. Because you got 7 candidates and you got a moderator. It's a lot of work. Hopefully, I'm good if I can have 5. 5 candidates, I'm happy with that. But we're going to try to get as many of the council people in here. And like I said, I'll try to get 6 of them, 6 wards. And we were talking about doing the council at large, but it's almost impossible. I think there's 17, 18 candidates, some number like that. You just can't get that many people on the stage at the same time. And if you try to break it up into 2 or 3 debates, somebody gets offended. I wasn't with the main candidates, that sort of thing. So, again, either his job in politics is being a council at large or maybe a Hudson County commissioner. But they get to skate again, the at-large people here. Well, we'll try to slip in the Hoboken. I just gave John Hines a date to see what he can get booking there. I think. Let me see what I told John. Actually, we're really just working on this as we're speaking. Let's see what date I gave John. I think it might have been the 18th. He asked me if I have the candidates' numbers. I don't know. I gave John 10/18. I don't have any of the candidates' numbers, John, so you'll have to figure it out. I'm thinking 10/18. We'll bring him in. We'll run it on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook, that sort of thing. The Jersey City mayoral debates will be on Comcast Channel 190 and 198. Statewide, you got the big governor's race. That's Mikey Sherrill versus Jack Citarelli. Plus, all the assembly seats are up. This is important. If you have a problem with how New Jersey has been run, this is how you make your voice heard. You make your vote. If you're happy with how Jersey has been for the last 4 to 8 years, send these people back. I don't know if we want to do that. Now, a lot of these people are friends of mine. I'm not sure I want to send all these people back. We have gone in the wrong direction here in New Jersey. And we have to right the ship. It's one thing I'll be talking about Trump later, about righting the ship. Well, first off, all politics is local. We need to right that ship here first. Murphy, I'm disappointed in Phil Murphy. I had a lot of high hopes for him when he became the mayor. I was hoping consolidation of school districts. We have 565 school districts. Do we need 565 school districts? Of course not. Do we need the expenses with each one of those school districts? All the payrolls, all the benefits and vacation and pensions, health insurance. Do you need all that? Of course not. I have 21 counties in Hudson, in New Jersey. I can get by with 21 school districts and cut a lot of expenses that you pay for. The biggest part of your property tax bill is your school funding. And right there is those 565 school districts. Municipalities, when Murphy became the governor, they were talking about consolidating, downsizing government. In 8 years, 2 municipalities merged. That was it. And we still have 565 school districts. I don't know how did that even come about? You have more school districts than you have municipalities. And they've done such a bang-up job that when schools are going bankrupt, they're trying to sell off property because of the funding problems. If the school districts had any teeth, we wouldn't have the funding problems. That's one of the things we have to get involved in this election. You have to look at Mikey Sherrill and Jack Citarelli and say, which one of these people are going to handle the problem with the school funding? Because it's twofold. We have to be equitable with the school funding. There's no reason in hell Jersey City should cost $36,000 a year to educate a student. Then in Tom's River, it's $18,000. It's 60 miles difference. It shouldn't double the cost. And the school system in Tom's River is fine. They're smart kids. They're not a bunch of knuckle draggers when they get out of high school down there. They're going to college. They're going on to vocational vocations. They're becoming plumbers, or electricians, or lawyers, or doctors. That's their goal when they go into high school. When they're going to college. It's the same thing here, but there's a huge difference in the expense. Like I said, my old elementary school in Jersey City cost $58 million a year to operate. How is that effing possible? $58 million a year to operate. And keep in mind, they don't pay rent. They don't pay property taxes. These things have to be looked into. There is no reason why Union City, my buddy mayor up there, Brian Stack, and state senator, is getting more in school funding than the city of Jersey City. And Jersey City is like 5 times the size of Union City. There's a problem here. How that worked, that's great for Brian, what he did for the people of Union City. There's a problem when we have Abbott districts. Hoboken is an Abbott district. You got North Bergen here where my studio is. Everything they do on their school system, they do themselves. They're going to build a school or buy a school. They have to pay for that. The property taxpayers have to pay for that. Not the case in Hoboken. Hoboken is an Abbott district. They're distressed. Things are so terrible in Hoboken that the state has to pay for their schools. You want to build a school, they build them. Same thing in Jersey City. We have to look at that. Is Jersey City really and Hoboken distressed that they need to be Abbott? I don't think so. You look at North Bergen Secaucus, they have to pay their way. That has to stop. They're Union City. Brian keeps building schools, which he should. What we don't do in Jersey City. We haven't built a school in Jersey City, a public school, since probably the one on Laylord Avenue about 10 years ago. Brian's building them left and right. But at North Bergen wants to build a school, they got to come up with the money. That's not the case in Union City or in Jersey City for public schools. That has to change. You got Tom's River with the inequitable funding that they were trying to file bankruptcy. And the state stepped in and said, no, you can't file bankruptcy. Yeah, that was the problem there. Then now they sold off their school headquarters. They're selling off school properties. They'll sell their soul right now to plug a budget gap. That we have to look into. Again, with the state races, you got the problem with energy. Yeah, you're seeing your electric bills. Your electric bills went up 30%. There's more coming next year. There's another 10%. Yeah, we had to go out into the market and buy electricity. We closed 6 generating plants in New Jersey. Electric generating plants. We closed them because we were going in on the wind farms. Wind farm and solar. Now, listen, there may be a place for solar, and there is a place for solar and wind, but not as the main supply, at least not in a few lifetimes anyway. It's still going to be natural gas. It's still going to be preferably nuclear, burns clean. Natural gas burns very clean now. We keep talking like these generator plants are back in the 50s. Coal even burns clean now. They got these buffers on there and scrubbers. Now, we have to embrace that. Not only did we close 6 generating plants in New Jersey, and they're trying to re-energize a couple of the nuclear plants here, we wouldn't allow a couple to be built. And those 2, one was in North Bergen, and the other one was in Kearney to generate electricity. So now here we got our hands on our butts saying, oh, we don't have enough electricity, the price is too high. We created this problem with bad management, bad ideology, embracing an energy stream that wasn't ready for prime time. At least they should have done is try to run parallels. But the powers that be in Trent knew damn well they were going to generate enough with the wind farms, which never really got off the ground, or the solar. They knew that going in. It was never going to be the same capabilities right off the bat as natural gas or nuclear. And like I said, did they try to run it parallel? No, it's close those generating plants. And we'll throw some solar panels up. We'll put them on the telephone poles. That didn't work. And you're paying for that now. So these are the kind of things you have to look at. Safe, you want to make sure New Jersey's safe. Now, the battle with law enforcement, that has to stop. That is our first line of defense. We have to be completely supportive of law enforcement in New Jersey. We have to untie the hands of law enforcement. I want to be on the side of law enforcement, not on the side of criminals. And the way we keep treating law enforcement here in New Jersey is questionable if we are. That has to stop. So these are the things, it's why you have to make an informed decision. Go to the website, see what Mikey Sherrill is spouting off, see what Jack Citarelli is spouting off. Try to figure out what fits with you. Don't become a one-issue voter, because there's always another issue. Nobody ever gets the whole loaf here in New Jersey. There's always going to be another issue, so don't get all wrapped up with just one issue. See if one of these candidates, their platform can meet a multitude of your needs. And right off the bat, you know it's your property taxes. And right off the bat, to make it part of your property taxes, school funding. So that we have to change. Energy, these are kitchen table issues. These are the things mom and pop are sitting at the table saying, how am I going to pay this? How am I going to pay that? These are the issues that you have to look into so you can make that informed decision. Don't go into the voting booth and just go Democratic or Republican, because we're sending the same people back again. Some of these people don't, honestly, somebody's a friend of mine. They don't deserve to go back. Simple as that. And great guys, great gals, they just don't deserve to go back. We shouldn't be in the situation we are. But here we are. Yeah, your electric bill is skyrocketing. Your property taxes, we're like the number 1 state in the nation for property taxes, the highest property taxes. That has to change. The more you want to talk about affordable housing, which is great. Isn't that a great buzzword, affordable housing? We should have a drinking contest. Every time some politician talks about affordable housing. Affordable housing we have when it's $3,500 a month, that's not affordable. But it can't be when the cities are unaffordable, when your property taxes are so high, when the highest rents in the nation, depending on the month, is either 1 or 2 Jersey City or Hoboken. there's a problem. When an average house now, is over $1 million. My house in our family house in Jersey City, it's worth like $1.5 million. It's a great house. I look at it, I see how it is. Across the street from me, they built new homes. They're selling a floor of each one of the homes for $1 million. Just the floor, not the whole house, just the floor. So that's a 3-family over there, so they're going to get $3 million. They're going to sell each one of the floors. I don't know how a young couple makes it. You get married, you're starting out in life. You want to get the home with the white picket fence. You might be able to afford the fence. You're not going to have a house to put it around because it's ridiculous. You're trying to buy a house here. Unless you have some outrageous, like $500,000 down payment, you're looking at a monthly mortgage around $7,000, $8,000. I don't know what kind of job you have to handle $7,000, $8,000. That's not going to happen. So that's the kind of decisions you got to make. And again, it's not just the governor. It's the assembly seats also. You got to make sure you have a good idea of what these candidates are going to bring. If you're happy with how Jersey's been running the last 8 years, send this gang back. I don't think you are. Now, I'm not saying you have to turn your back on all the Democrats, but you have to make an informed decision. If you're in the 31st district, make an informed decision. 32nd, 33rd, and so on. Yeah, some of these people deserve to go back. Some of them don't. Some of them probably haven't done anything outside of rubber stamping. Yeah, can you get a little more balance in trend between the Republicans and the Democrats? That would probably be helpful. We do have a two-party system, except in Trenton. Now, I'm not advocating for the Republicans. What I'm advocating for is make an informed choice on Election Day. We don't want to be in the same situation we are for another 4 years. All right, we're going to break for commercial. You're listening to the City Show Radio. I'm Pat O'Melia here on GGR. I'll be right back.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
I'm back. City Show Radio here, Pat O'Melia on GGR. We're talking about the upcoming elections. And you got a lot of choices to make here. You got the Jersey City elections. You got the Hoboken one, running for mayor. Unlike Jersey City, in Hoboken, their council doesn't run with the mayor. It's all the mayors. They run solo. Then I think next year is the council and council at large. Jersey City, it's the entire ticket. Mayor and the council. And it's a complete 9-person ticket. No, it's probably 9. You got 6 and 3. That's 9. 10 with the mayor. Yeah, 10 people on the ticket. So again, don't go and just throw the levers. Go in there and make an informed vote. Whether you're voting Republican, Democrat, you got a lot of independents out there, which is good. Look at each candidate on what their merit is, what their format's going to be, what they're saying they're going to do for you and your family. Really important. Think about you and your family. Plus, going forward, don't look about just today. Look about 2 years down the road. Down, I'm coming to the end of my game. I'm more concerned about my kids now. So that's my goal, to make sure the kids have a good future. And that's the same thing we should all be concerned about. So make a good choice. Read all the stuff they're putting in your mailbox, all the stuff on Twitter. Get all that, digest it, see which one fits. And again, don't look at just one issue. Look at the multitude of the issues, the whole platform. If you become a one-issue voter, you're always going to be disappointed because it's always another issue. Once one issue is done, there's another issue there. In the news, I applaud Trump. I'm going to get into Trump war on crime. The Charlie Kirk thing, I don't know much about Charlie Kirk. For that matter, we got Fernando Uribe. He's in the bullpen here waiting to do his show. He probably knows more about Charlie Kirk than I knew him. I knew he was a podcaster. He was conservative, Republican. Didn't deserve to be killed, that's for damn sure. And what astonishes me, not only is the guy killed, he's killed by a kid. The guy's 22 years old. How do we have so much hate in the hearts of these young people? The guy that tried to kill, the kid that tried to kill Trump, he was also 22, 23 years old. Where the hell is this hatred? These kids that go into the high schools and shoot up the high schools, they're kids. Where the hell is all this hate? It's astonishing. And this one with Charlie Kirk, when you're following it as it's happening, and you see how chaotic a crime scene is, when you're getting so many conflicting details of what was going on with the investigation. They're bringing suspects in. They're actually naming the suspects on the news. Well, this guy, Ralph Bell, we brought him in as person of interest. Wasn't the guy, but you just ruined Ralph Bell for the rest of his life. You mentioned his name there. They did again with the second guy they brought him in. But yeah, it just shows you how chaotic it is until law enforcement finally gets the feet on the ground, and the pros get in there and they start working it, and they're working the cameras, the CCTV, they're actually the cell phone footage, and boom, you find the kid. And I realized Charlie Kirk wasn't an elected official, but he had a security team there. You'd think you would have learned something from what happened to Trump, where somebody climbed up on a roof, was going to take a shot at Trump. Same thing this kid did. He climbs up on a roof, but this time it was a good shot. And that's a hell of a shot, a couple of 100 yards away to hit the kid, Charlie Kirk. And I do say kid, he was 31 years old, got 2 young children, young wife. The guy's dead. And what's he dead for? Politics? Is this where we're going with politics? We're coming that involved in it that we'll go out to kill somebody we don't agree with them? One of the things, first off, in the United States, there are a lot of dead people in cemeteries who fought wars for these freedoms. You can speak your mind. Now, there's repercussions for your mind, but not for you to kill someone. Yeah, you're entitled to your opinion. I am entitled to rebuttal your opinion or completely ignore it, but you're allowed to speak. A lot of people, just over the Charlie Kirk thing, they're losing their jobs because they were friggin' idiots, and they're saying, well, he deserved to be killed. No, he didn't deserve to be killed. Actually, you probably deserved to lose your job, but on the flip side of it, you're allowed to speak your mind. If you weren't a fan to him, you could say you're not a fan of this guy. We don't have to all love everyone. There's a big misconception that we all should love everybody. We should be tolerant of everybody. No, that's not the American way. Certainly not a Jersey way. We're not tolerant of all that. But for this kid, again, 31 years old, his beliefs, very religious guy. I'm not sure what he was killed for until I start, getting information out of this kid. Was his religious beliefs? Was his political beliefs? Was it, they're saying there's beliefs in the Second Amendment with the guns. Well, that's part of your Constitution. This country was founded on guns. The Wild West was cleared with guns. Everything in the United States you can bring back to a gun. We've always been big on guns in the United States, and it will always be part of the United States. We just didn't use them as much. Like I said many times on the show here, when I was a young guy, you want to buy a gun? You go to a bar and buy a gun. They would sell them there. You could get a gun anywhere. But we didn't go what we used to call going postal. That was the only time you had a mass shooting. Somebody would go in the post office and kill a bunch of other post office people. Now, this is a concept. You went to school. We didn't have metal detectors. I was security in school. I was a patrol boy. We didn't have cops and security people. Now you need it. Now, again, there were guns back in the 60s and 70s, but it wasn't like it is now. There's probably more guns back in the 60s and 70s. Now you have young people with a tremendous amount of hate in their heart. And for whatever reason, they think by taking out Charlie Kirk is going to change something. It's going to change a religious belief or political belief. Yeah, it's a damn shame that if it is politics, is what, well, even religion, that you can't be part of your political movement. Now, listen, some people get overzealous. That may be what happened here with this young guy over politics and religion. It's like a couple of things people always say, never discuss over dinner. But there's a problem where we're going to take somebody out, or generally take someone out because you don't agree with this person's political stand or his religious stand. That's something that never happened before. Actually, never. What happened before, once the election was over, everybody in government, whether it's local government or in Washington, they all did the business of the people. That's not the case. These campaigns never end anymore. You'd think there was a campaign going on right now with the way it is with Trump. You'd think it was still going on every day. Somebody's got a problem with Trump. I don't know if I have a problem with Trump yet. I said when he was elected, I'll give a guy a year. Let's see what's happening. See what happens after a year. It takes a long time to turn around a ship. I mean, and the SS Biden was going down the wrong friggin' direction. It's going to take a long time to turn that ship around and get it back up to the right end of the ocean there. That's not going to happen in one day. So I'm not sure if everything Trump is doing is proper, but we got to give the guy time. But you'd never know it by the way the legacy media, it's a new name for them, your old established media, I guess that's what we call it, the CBSs, the ABCs of the world. And I watch mostly all these news shows. Some are impossible to watch. You know, MSNBC and CNN, it's as if they think I have no knowledge of what you're telling me. You know, it reminds me of somebody who would lie to you when you knew the truth. That's what I get from MSNBC and CNN. ABC News, not too bad. CBS News, not too bad. You can see they're leaning a little bit here and there. You can see how some of the writers on those shows, they put their spin on the news. See a lot of that sometimes with WPIX 11 too, where they may go into more detail than needed. If they get some negative detail, they'll go into that. But like I said, the campaigns never stop. And a lot of these, what they call now legacy medias, they just keep funneling this misinformation, or derogatory things that may inflame people. Yeah, years ago we used to blame video games for violence. Now we're blaming social media. I think somewhere along the line with social media, the Twitters and the Instagrams of the world, you're going to have to put your name on it. Again, you're entitled to your opinions. I believe you're entitled to say whatever you want. But we should be able to know who you are when you're saying it. And that's one of the problems we have now with social media. Like I said, in the old days, it was video games and movies. Yeah, I didn't see any kids running around jumping on flaming barrels to save the blonde-head girl. Yeah, I never understood the violence with the video game aspect. And I was Mr. Nintendo for many years. I didn't see any violence coming out of those video games. But I think I can see where with social media, where people can be radicalized, where they can get in these chat rooms, this Discord or Reddit or Twitter or whatever the case is, and you can take some young, naive minds down the wrong path. And maybe that's what happened with some of these young guys. But it astonishes me on how they can have so much hatred in their heart to go out and try to kill this guy, Charlie Kirk, try to assassinate Trump, or walk into a school and shoot up a school, or go onto a church and shoot up a church. That just did happen, but got covered up by all the other murders. The heinous things like the Ukrainian woman on the light rail, where a criminal with 14 or so arrests to his record sits down behind her and stabs her in the neck. And I didn't want to see the whole thing, but you can see where this girl is in shock when this guy gets up after stabbing her. She's holding the neck, and she doesn't realize that, in about 20 seconds she's going to be gone, and she falls off the seat. This animal shouldn't have been on the streets. Whatever judge let this guy out, he's complicit with what happened. There's got to be some repercussions for these judges who allow these animals back on the street. Yeah, another animal in Queens. He's walking up and down the street, knocking on doors, ringing doorbells. Can I charge my cell phone? And his elderly couple, just trying to be a nice person. So, yeah, you can plug it in here for a little while. Guy gets in the house, ties him up, tortures him, sets him on fire, sets the house on fire, takes their cell phones, pawns them, takes their credit cards, goes out, and goes to Macy's, buys some things, goes to a movie. But the cops were tracing him through the credit cards, and eventually they catch the guy. This animal shouldn't have been out on jail. Actually, a judge released him, but he said, I want you to write me a letter telling me you're going to come back for your court date. This is the judge who shouldn't be a judge. Yeah, you guys got 14 priors. Has done some serious time in jail. This guy, you want to write a note. These people shouldn't be allowed on the street. That's why we have to make, well, we can only talk Jersey right now. We got to make Jersey safe. We can't have this kind of bail reform. We can't coddle the criminals. York, you used to have 3 strikes, you're out. I don't know, strikes right now. It's certainly a different ballgame. We can't allow these people to keep being put on the street. If they got a mental problem, then they have to go into a sanitarium. If they're a career criminal, you got to go to jail. I don't want you out with your mother or your daughters walking in the streets or your sisters. You can't have these people out there. I realize they have civil rights, but so do we. We have a right to be safe and not putting known criminals back on the street or known mental situations back on the street. Now, listen, let's break for commercial. You're listening to the City Show Radio. I'll be right back.
Comprehensive healthcare is here, here, and here. RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its 2 newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design studio and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights. Your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments. Carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants. All major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
I'm back. City Show Radio here. Pat O'Meara on GGR. Got about 20 minutes left to show. Again, I don't understand the hate people have in their heart, but time to move on. We're on to another enthusiastic topic. President Trump. President Trump war on crime. He's cleaned up D.C. I'm going to give the guy the credit where credit is due. He's cleaned up a lot of the crime in D.C. And even the D.C. mayor has agreed with it. You know, when they're doing the interviews on the street, these are the regular people that live there. Now, I'm not talking, Schumer, who, it's safe to walk in D.C. Well, yeah, you got a whole security team with you. Yeah, you can walk there. Got a kick out of Trump going out for dinner, like he was just walking out of the White House, walking down Pennsylvania Avenue, like he doesn't have a whole security team also. But when they were doing the interviews on the street, these are the average, workers there, people that live in D.C. They're saying, yeah, we needed this. And I don't understand why municipalities or states aren't taking them up on this offer. Memphis is. Memphis is taking Trump up on the offer to help combat crime in Memphis. Who wouldn't want a free law enforcement? National Guard and military, to back up your own people. Now, again, they're not taking over the police departments. They're supplementing them. You're getting more manpower out there. Why wouldn't you want to do that? Why wouldn't you? If I was the mayor of Jersey City, I'd be on the phone now to the White House. Yeah, gentlemen, give me all you can. You give me free law enforcement, I'm taking it. I applaud Trump for actually trying to put an end to some of this rampant crime. I agree he should go to Chicago. get a kick out of the crazy mayor there, where crime's down. Like I said, crime's down. We average 9 murders a weekend. We're down to 8, so we're doing a great job. Yeah, the shootings, we went down from 80 shootings a weekend down to 72. Yeah, the crime is still a problem. If you went and asked the people, they had a talk show in Chicago where you can ask the people what they thought about the crime situation in Chicago. They would tell you right off the bat, it's horrible. It's the same thing in San Francisco. San Francisco was one of the beautiful cities. I've never been there. My wife has been there. Now it's a rat hole. It's a crime-infested, homeless bastion rat hole now. That has to stop. You have to get back your cities. And I applaud Trump for trying to do something with crime. I applaud him with the drug-running ships, the boats there. Yeah, they're trying to run these drugs into the United States. You want to war on drugs? We stop them from getting in. Now, if these countries don't want to enforce, their own drug laws, and they're probably looking the other way, whether it be Venezuela or Mexico or China or whatever it is, blow up the ships, well, boats, not ships. Blow them up. And Trump just took out 2 or 3 of them recently. Those drugs aren't getting there. You might have some, cocaine sharks floating around now from swallowing all this, but, at least we don't have the drugs coming into the United States. At least the guy is actually taking some steps to combat crime. Now, as I said before, when he was elected, I said I would give him a year. Let's see what he accomplishes. Yeah, I just said before, it takes a long time to turn around a ship. And this ship is going down the wrong section of the ocean there for a long time under Biden. It's going to take a while. But, again, I commend him for taking the on crime. I'm not, like I said before, with the tariffs. I don't know a lot about tariffs. We can make it a living place for our businesses here and not have countries dumping a bunch of their inventory on the United States. I'm in favor of that. Like I said, years ago, my old boss at Danielski would tell me when we rode down the turnpike, see all those ocean-going containers stacked up? There's a problem. The economy is not doing well. We're not exporting. Those containers are just coming in. They're not going out. And I'll say this once under Trump, as I go down the turnpike, they're still there, but it's not a big mountain climb as it was before. So I think there's some movement there. I know they're talking about the unemployment numbers and grocery numbers. I tell you, just in ShopRite, was it yesterday? Yeah. Sunday. Sunday we're in ShopRite. Dozen jumbo eggs was $3.79. They were up like $5.50 when Trump became president. A couple of weeks ago, they were $3.99. So these prices are coming down. The crap I have to eat now, the yogurt, it was 50 cents a cup. It was 99 cents. I wish it wasn't there, but this is what I have to eat now. All these healthy things now. Brown rice is awful. I like white rice, but white rice is killing you, according to my wife and these doctors. So I had to use brown rice. I mean, it's awful. And it takes like forever to cook brown rice. Where you can make white rice in 10 minutes, brown rice is like 40 minutes. I guess you eat less if you wait that long to eat. I suppose that's it. But I think, again, we're going to review this in January, but I think he's on the right track. Is everything he's doing right and perfect? Is it a home run? No, of course not. Nobody's 100%. Has he had some missteps? Oh, yeah, there's some missteps. You prefer to have as many positive steps than missteps. But again, we'll look at this. I tell you what, he can't be any worse than Biden was. Biden, that's why I said before with Jimmy Carter, I'm happy Jimmy Carter lived to see that he was no longer the worst president in my lifetime. He was supplemented by Biden. And I'm not sitting here as a Republican or a Democrat. I'm a mercenary. Yeah, I think Bill Clinton was probably the best president in my lifetime. If not him, then Reagan. So I'm not just going against the Democrats here. Biden was awful. He doesn't even know how awful he was because he has mental issues there. You probably should look at all those pardons they gave. What did they give, like 5,000 pardons at the end? They had to use an auto pen to do that. Nobody could sign all those paperwork. 5,000 of these things. So when it gets to Trump, the economy, let's give him time. Let's look at it for a year. Some things are working. The thing with fuel, one day the fuel goes up like 10 cents a gallon, then it starts coming down, then it goes back up. He can only control so many things. Hopefully after a year, things start settling down. All his initiatives start showing some positive. I know Wall Street is doing well. And if Wall Street's doing well, we should, the high tide lifts all the boats. Eventually that trickles down to everyone. like I said, we'll review this in a year, and I'll be down the middle with it. If things aren't working out, I'll say that. But we need him to be successful. I can't do another 4 years of Biden. During the Biden years, every month I had less and less money. Now I'm running around with my hand, digging all at the bottom of my pocket to find nickels here to get equipment for the studio. Yeah, I got to, where I would buy new equipment constantly. Now I'm on Craigslist. I'm on eBay. Yeah, I'm meeting people in dark alleys. What kind of camera you got there? You got a good battery? Let me see it. The guy opens his jacket and shows me his battery. That's what I reduced it now. Trying to stretch $1 as far as I can. Old days, I would just call up B&H. Here you go. Send me some cameras. Send me some computers. Nah, I'm getting second-hand, third-hand stuff here. Trying to get good ratings on it. But that's what I do. I got to watch everything. I got to watch eBay. I got to watch Craigslist. That's not how I operated before. Now, I did get a camera. Got a problem with the HDMI outlet. Now that bringing it out, I got to fight. Now, that one I bought from B&H. Had a good number on it. Yeah, it was a refurb kind of thing. Oh, B&H refurb. Okay. We get it here. First of all, they had the wrong lens hood on it. Which I figured, all right, it can happen. Yeah, the guy at B&H grabbed it. It's a lot of lens hoods in B&H, a lot of cameras. I can live with that. I'll buy it, and I did. We got for that matter, I should have brought that in. I don't have the camera yet. That getting repaired. Oh, we put the camera in the service, Garrett and Mike, and it turns out we're not getting no output from the HDMI. So now I got to bring it over to Canon in Lyndhurst. One of the reasons I'm standing on Canon is, first of all, they had service centers in Jersey. No, they're not there anymore. But if you want your lens fixed on your camera, it is a note that leave it on the loading dock. They moved everything down to Newport News, Virginia. So I found a place. I found a guy that does Canon repairs in Bricktown Photo Center. They got the camera down there. They'll do the repair. If I knew it was, I wouldn't change my Canons anyway. If you want some lineage between the cameras you're updating from, you don't want to have to learn like a new language. You got a new camera, a new manufacturer. Everything's different. So I'll stay with the Canons. I'm very upset that he moved out on me. I can call them, but they're not going to give a damn that I'm upset. So numbers I could do there. We're talking about school funding. How can we bring down the cost of school funding? Maybe if we don't have people that take bribes and give people no-show jobs. So Dan Thomas, who was the former Jersey City Board of Education president, just pled guilty to accepting bribes. He was accepting bribes to give this guy, an attorney, a sweet job at the Board of Education. And he actually said, don't worry about it. Nobody even questioned what you're doing there. How many jobs they probably have that no one questions what you're doing there? How many people probably never show up? If it's not no-show, there's probably a lot of low-show. That's why we need to get in to the funding of schools. Because it's not unique to Jersey City. What do you think, corruption is unique here? Nah, there's corruption everywhere. Every friggin' town and municipality, there's some corruption there. You have to weed that out. And when it comes to the school boards, mucho. That's what we need to weed out. But here's just an example. Yeah, it took $35,000 in bribes to give this guy a no-show, low-show job. And I'm sure it's not the only. It's one he pled guilty to. So he probably pocketed and gave a bunch of other jobs out there. So like I said many times, the teachers, they're off the table. They're non-negotiable teachers. Nobody's getting laid off. Nobody's salary is being reduced. Probably I would give them raises. Every other friggin' nickel that's spent, I want to know why and where. I want to know what that person does, what this person does. What are you doing here? How often are you here? That we need to find out. All right, let's break for commercial. You listen to the City Show Radio here on GGR. We'll be right back.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one path stop away, or a quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Good Friend Self Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Back, Pat O'Melia here on City Show Radio on GGR. Don't forget, tell your friends, download the app. Live 365. Download it. You can listen to all the programming. There's a lot of programming on GGR, a lot of music, a lot of other shows besides my shows. So download it, and you can listen to us. You can listen everywhere. You can listen to your car on your Sirius or your Alexa. Listen on your phone. A lot of your radio stations now, like ESPN, FA, and WFN, 65% is on the digital networks. Same thing with NJ 101.5. Everything is on the digital networks now. Liberty State Park. We know where that park is. Down Cape-Port Road. You go there occasionally. You probably have a political fundraiser at the Liberty House down there. It is like a time capsule when I go down there. Nothing ever changes. They don't even put benches in there. Now, Sam Pessin, who I like Sam, known him for years, he's the head of Liberty State Park. His father founded Liberty State Park. He has a problem with the future of Liberty State Park. Now, Sam always has a problem with Liberty State Park. Going back to Brett Schundler. Remember, Brett Schundler wanted to put a water park in there at one time. Sam was going nuts over it. There's a problem. The marina wants to expand and build a boathouse there, a big boathouse for repairs and all. And, of course, the Friends of Liberty State Park are dead set against that. I'm not. We need to get revenue out of the parks so we don't keep digging into your pocket. There's funding questions now on the future of Liberty State Park. The marina is a source of funding. Anything we can put in there where we can get money from to lessen the bite on you is ideal. But the problem is when the state does the lessen the bite on you, it doesn't lessen. The lottery was supposed to fund the schools and senior care. That didn't happen. The race, the horse track, that didn't happen. The online gambling, that was supposed to be the thing. That didn't happen. Where all the money came in, but it got sucked up in the black hole that is the state's budget. So even though if you do increase your revenue stream, it probably won't affect your property taxes. But to sit there and allow Liberty State Park not to generate any revenue is ridiculous. Expand the marina. I would put another marina down there. The stadium and the amphitheater, I would have put that in there. It's a big friggin' park. And it's not like it's covered with, every square foot is covered with people looking for passive recreation or just to sit there and get a suntan. It's wide open down there. There's not people waiting at the gate with a picnic basket waiting to get in there. It's not. So if you can get some revenue and get some more attractions down there, do it. Like the 9/11 memorials in the state of disrepair. Probably has some money. Actually, the state has money. They should put money in that, but it's how the state spends their money, which is why you have to make an informed decision on November the 4th. Again, Sam Pessin. I'm part of the Friends of the Lowe's for years. We would fundraise and we would get money and we'd put money into the theater and we would paint and we'd upgrade. I don't know if the Friends of the Liberty State Park ever put so much as a friggin' bench down there. I'm not sure. I'd have to bring Sam in here someday and find out. All right, we got about 4 minutes left. Let's go rapid fire. North Bergen has dropped the idea for the pre-K school in Braddock Park. Big mistake. They should have stayed in that and they should have fought tooth and nail. But there was politics that played there, and the decision was really, between you and I, they weren't going to win the political battle on that. Maybe another day. But I think they still control that thumbnail of a section of that park. North Bergen names their new junior high school after Nicholas Sacco. Now, Nicholas Sacco is a powerful politician, a long time, 30-some-odd years in New Jersey. But actually, he's an educator. His whole career has been in education. So if you're wondering why they would name the school after Nicholas Sacco. That's why. He's been an educator all through his career, along as a politician, but as an educator. Actually, more than that, because I know Nick more as an educator than a political powerhouse that he is. Red light cameras. You remember those things? Let's talk about bringing them back. Actually, I think my buddy Bill O'Day's talking about bringing them back. We don't want to bring them back because they were never fair to anyone. I would go to pick up my wife at Newport. I would get a ticket every day. And I'm a guy that knows the people at Hudson County, insider to a degree. I wanted to know who made the decisions because the footage was always reviewed. Well, we have a whole panel of people who review this footage. I couldn't get an effing name of anybody on that panel. There was no review. There was just stamp, get the money. And eventually it got so ridiculous and so corrupt that even New Jersey said, whew, this is corrupt for us. And if New Jersey says this is too corrupt for us, you got to stop it. This is Jersey saying that. And we killed the red light cam. Now there's talk about bringing them back. And it's always under the safety thing. You know, their bodies piling up any someplace that we need these? No, it's not happening. It's another money grab. They want to grab your money. But we will pervert it to the point where it will become so corrupt that even New Jersey has to stop it. And that's a damn shame when New Jersey has to say, that's corrupt. Andy Acebo. You know Andy Acebo? He's been installed as the president of New Jersey City University. He is the 13th president. He had that like a weird gown on. I sent him a text. Andy, you should wear that outfit all the time. It's a good look for you. It looks like something from the days of the Roman Empire is there. But good guy, young guy, Union City guy too. To this day, they came up with $10 million for the merger. Why did you come up with $10 million just to offset the bills that the university owed? That we couldn't do. Well, we'll come up with money for the merger. If you give this guy 2 or 3 years, he will right the ship at New Jersey City University. But again, the powers that be in Trenton would rather see the money, $10 million for the merger, than put the $10 million in the coffers of NJCU so they can dig out of bad management long before Andy Acebo was on the scene. It was terrible. The trustees were bad. And one of the trustees was a good friend of mine. I had to ask for his resignation. Yeah, you got to resign. You guys are terrible here. Yeah, you open a facility on the waterfront, the most expensive property in the state. You open another facility in Monmouth County, and then you got into a bad development deal. You got in the river with sharks, ocean with sharks, and you got ate up. So now Andy's trying to get himself out of all these terrible deals. Give this guy 2 or 3 years, he would have righted the ship without a merger. But the powers that be in Trenton, which is why you have to make an informed decision on November the 4th, you just don't want to keep doing the same thing over and over. All right, we're out of show. Good to be back. Next week, we're going to figure out how we're going to film a TV version of City Show and a radio version. But that's something we're going to be working on during the week. You be good. You be safe. I'll talk to you next week. Take care.